I'm going to try to do this all the way through one shot. See, the plunger there is down and stuck. Let's see if we can fix that. Nope, it's stuck pretty good. So this, I'll show you how to do this to rebuild the innards of these injectors. Hopefully my phone doesn't fall over. Get you a big pipe wrench, something to hold that injector with. That's still hot too. That didn't work so well. This is why I'm not a professional YouTuber. Anyway, I just thought this might help somebody. So, when you take this apart, you crack this nozzle loose, and then you can just spin that nozzle off. It's hot because the truck was just running. Make sure when you pop it off that it's facing up like that, because I'll show you why here in a second. You're going to grab a hold of this, flip it over, and it's stuck, so it's not going to come off there easily. Sweet. This is not working very well. Let's try it this way. No, that's not going to work either. Maybe if I get another one, put one on the other side. Nope. Okay, that'll work, I guess. So inside this barrel right here is a little check ball. Let me get something to pry that off there because it is stuck good. But you got to get that barrel off of there, one way or the other. Get down off of there. This one's trash, so I'm not terribly concerned about tearing it up. There it goes. Okay. The ball fell out. It's right here. See a little teeny tiny ball? It's a check ball. It goes, that little slot right there, that wide spot in that slot, it goes right in there. See it down in there? If you can see it in there, it goes in there, okay? So, that's half of it done. This is your plunger. You gotta take it off because it's scarred up now and it's matched to the barrel. So, usually these are really tight, but this one's loose. If you break this loose here, if you get that loosened up from the lock nut, which sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, this one's loose. So if you take and you just spin that lock nut off, okay, there's the lock nut, spin it off, set it to the side. Now, you push this down, and this is the STC plunger. If I can get it to come out of there. There. This is the STC plunger. Comes out as one unit. Okay, nothing to be scared of. Comes out as a unit, put it back in as a unit. Okay, now just flip it over, and your plunger falls out. All right, here's the plunger. And this one's the one that's scarred up. This all happened when I plugged the fuel filter up. And I decided that I was going to try to drive it another 20 miles to get to a Napa to get a filter. So this guy's all scarred up. Probably can't see it, but at any rate, it is scarred up. You'll have to take my word for it. It's stuck. It's got some brown spots on it right there. You can see that. It's burnt up. So it's stuck. Now, there is a little push rod inside that plunger that you're going to need. You need that. So you got to take it out of there. Okay. Clean it up a little bit. It's just a plunger or a push rod. That's all it is. Okay. Set it off to the side. Now, let me put this away real quick. That ball bearing in there. Of course, when you want it to fall out, it won't fall out naturally. That goes to that one. So I always try to put stuff back together. Oh yeah, it was really stuck. Oof. There. So I'll put that back together. Throw it off to the side. I think this is one I took out, but it wasn't terrible. And that one's not very good. I might be able to clean it up a little bit though. I do have a new one of these ordered, and the kit comes just like this in a plastic bag, just like this. And the ball bearing's inside this little rubber piece. Let me see. Now I'm going to try to find my best one, the one that feels the smoothest, because that injector is dead. Dead. So it's going to be between these two, I think. Yeah, I'm not really liking that one very much. It's got a pretty good hang up on it. So it's going to be between these two. Just got to figure out which one of these two is the smoothest. That one's pretty smooth. Now I replaced these. That one's got a little hang up in it. I think I'm going to use that one. I replaced these. Some of these weren't having a problem, but I replaced them because I was in that box and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to have to do all of them, I'm going to do all of them, and I'm just going to be done with this box completely. So that one may have been one that wasn't really that bad. I'm just spraying it off with some carburetor cleaner just to clean it up a little bit. Same thing with the barrel. Just spray it out with some carb cleaner just to clean it up. Yeah, see, now that one's not bad at all. That one's not bad at all. It's nice and smooth. No hang-ups, no hitches, no nothing. Nice and smooth. Get your mind out of the gutter. That's what you want, nice and smooth. That's what y'all want. Okay. I'm using some Ultra Slick. You can also use transmission fluid. I have some transmission fluid laying there. I'm just going to put just a little bit right there. And then I'm going to take the barrel. And I'm going to make sure that that is good and coated all the way around. So that way it's got a little bit of lubrication for when it first starts up. Use what you like. This is engine assembly lube. So I figure if it's good enough to assemble an engine with, it's good enough to put in an injector. So installation is reversive removal. Drop it in. Put your little ball bearing in your little slot. I like to take a little Ultra Slick and just put a little drop right in there. It helps the ball bearing stay in place while you're doing this, because this can be a little bit tricky. Okay, get it started up on there. There. Now it's seated up on there. Now you can put your nozzle back on. Put your nozzle on. Spin it down. Okay. Now you can set it back down. Again, I like to put a little bit of Ultra Slick on the STC plunger. Kind of work it around a little bit. Okay. Get it all over on there. Slide it back in. A little bit of lubrication just for when it first starts up. Now this, I reset mine, the oil feed, 90 degrees to the right of the filter screen, the fuel screen here. And the fuel screen is towards me right now. So I put it 90 degrees to the right. This is my right over here. 90 degrees to the right. Okay. And about 2 threads up, because that's where the rest of them were. I don't know. I don't claim to know why that is, but that's the way they are. That's the way they all were. And then you just take your big pipe wrench, you get on there and you snug that down and you snug your nozzle down. That's it. You're done. That's all there is to it. So let me get this widened out. So I can get on this. Too wide. Now, there may be other things that I'm not hitting here. These are new, fairly new injectors. They've only got, I don't know, a couple 100,000 miles on them, if that. Maybe not even 50,000 miles. But I had that fuel filter problem. Oh crap, I forgot to put the push rod in. Don't forget the push rod. So I got to break this end back loose to take that STC part back. But I mean, if you've got injectors that are like old, maybe they need to be rebuilt. I'm a professional. I am not a professional. Don't claim to be. But you know, for a guy that just had a problem and is having injectors sticking. Oh man, come out of there. Come on, you stupid thing. There we go. Don't forget to push the push rod in it. I can. So for a guy that's just having problems on a budget, needs injectors that work, you can order these plunger and barrel kits for about $67 plus shipping. And get you back on the road. Now, I've got a ball bearing here, and I'm going to double check. Just because it's easier to double check now than it is to have to tear it back out later. I'm pretty sure that's out of that other kit. But I'm going to double check it just to make sure. Make sure my ball bearing is in there. My ball bearing is in there. That's what you call peace of mind. So now I know if that ball bearing is in there, I don't have to worry about it when I first fire it up. lining these little dowels up can be a bit of an argument because there's several holes in this thing. There it goes. Okay, put your nozzle back on. And there we go. Now, one thing I didn't mention, when you get this nozzle off, if you need to change the tip just pushes in. You can just take that nozzle and smack it on the bench a couple times. That tip will pop out. I had a tip laying here. Where'd it go? I'm going to show you it's called a sack cup, or a sacrificial cup, or an injector cup. I had one laying here. I don't know where it went, but I had one laying here. Anyways, let me just show you real quick. So, here's a nozzle with a cup in it, okay? Now, I don't suggest doing this, but this is an old cup and I don't really care about it. Smack it on the bench, smack it with a hammer or something, tap on it, it will pop out of there, okay? This is the cup. It's the nozzle. It's what actually sprays the fuel pattern into the cylinder. Okay? And then when you go to put it back together, it sits down in there like that. And it just sits in the nozzle like that. Okay? So that is how that is done. Now, one other thing I have found helps a lot is in the filter screen here. If you take and you just give it a couple shots of some penetrating lube, some penetrating oil, and just let it soak in, okay? Just give him a couple shots, give him a little juice down in there. And I'll even go so far as to take my Ultra Slick and I'll put a little bit, I'll just fill that little cup where the screen is up with the Ultra Slick and let it run down in there for a second. Now you've got some lube in the injector. You've got lube on the plunger and barrel, and you have lube in the injector to go to the plunger and barrel. When you first fire it up before the fuel hits it, it keeps it from getting hot and scarring it. So now you've got a little bit of lube on there. Now I'm just going to go stick it back in, and that's all there is to it. I've done 5 of my 6 because one's brand new before I figured this out. So, yep. Hopefully that helps somebody. Just be very careful. Don't lose that little check ball. If you plan on putting that barrel back in, don't lose that little check ball. And when you get the new kit, don't lose the new check ball. So it comes in a little bag like this, in a box like this, and looks just like this. And that's all there is to changing them.